Every month, millions of people do the same thing. They create a budget. They open a notebook, spreadsheet, or budgeting app. They write down income. They write down rent, groceries, transportation, savings, debt payments, and maybe a little spending money. And for a moment, everything looks perfect. The numbers balance. The plan makes sense. The person feels responsible. Then real life walks in. A friend's birthday comes up. The car needs an oil change. A child needs school supplies. A family member visits. The grocery bill is higher than expected. A subscription renews. The holidays are suddenly around the corner. And by the third week of the month, the budget is no longer a plan. It is a crime scene. The person looks at the numbers and says, "How did this happen again?" Today, we are answering that question. Why does your budget fail every month? And more importantly, how do you fix it? The answer is not that you are bad with money. The answer is usually that your budget was built for an imaginary month, not your real life. The first reason most budgets fail is simple. They are too perfect. A perfect budget assumes that every month will behave exactly the same. Rent will be the same, groceries will be the same, gas will be the same. No one will have a birthday, nothing will break, no child will need anything, no wedding invitation will arrive, no family emergency will happen, no annual fee will renew, no holiday will sneak up like it was not on the calendar all year. But real life does not work like that. A budget fails when it only includes the bills you remember and ignores the expenses you know are coming but forget to plan for. This is why many people feel like they are always surprised by expenses that are not actually surprising. Christmas is not an emergency. It happens every year. Back to school season is not an emergency. It happens every year. Car maintenance is not an emergency. Cars need repairs. Birthdays are not emergencies. People keep having them. The problem is not that these expenses exist. The problem is that the budget pretends they do not. Think of your budget like a bridge. The goal of the bridge is to carry you from one paycheck to the next, or from one month to the next. But if the bridge has missing pieces, you will fall through. Those missing pieces are the expenses you did not include. Many people think their budget failed because they lacked discipline. Sometimes discipline is part of it, but often the real issue is design. A badly designed budget can fail even if you are disciplined. For example, imagine someone earns $4,500 a month after taxes. They budget rent $1,700, groceries $500, car payment $450, insurance $180, phone and internet $150, debt payments $400, savings $400, gas $250, fun money $200, miscellaneous $270. On paper, everything works, but then the month happens. A friend's birthday dinner costs $85. The car needs a $140 oil change. A child's school activity costs $75. A yearly subscription renews for $120. Groceries cost $650 instead of $500. Suddenly, the person is over budget by hundreds of dollars. They say, "I can never stick to a budget." But the truth is, the budget was incomplete from the beginning. It was not built for the real month. It was built for the fantasy version of the month where life behaves itself. And life rarely behaves itself. The first major reason your budget fails is that it is unrealistic. An unrealistic budget is a budget that looks good mathematically but does not match your actual habits, needs, or environment. For example, if you normally spend $800 a month on groceries for your household, budgeting $350 does not make you disciplined. It makes the budget fictional. If you normally spend $300 eating out, budgeting $0 may feel inspiring on the first day of the month, but by Friday, reality will return with a menu. If gas usually costs $2.80, budgeting $1.50 will not lower gas prices. It will just make you feel like you failed. This is one of the biggest budgeting mistakes. People create the budget they wish they had instead of the budget they actually need. A good budget starts with truth, not shame, not fantasy, truth. If you spend $700 on groceries, write $700. Then you can ask, can I reduce this to $650? Maybe. Then maybe $600 over time. But jumping from $700 to $300 in 1 month is not a plan. It is a financial crash diet. And just like crash diets, extreme budgets often fail because they are too restrictive to survive real life. The second reason budgets fail is irregular expenses. Irregular expenses are costs that do not happen every month, but they still happen. This includes car repairs, oil changes, tires, annual subscriptions, birthdays, holiday gifts, school fees, medical appointments, vet bills, clothing, travel, home maintenance, professional license renewals, insurance premiums, registration fees. These expenses are dangerous because they hide. They do not show up every month, so people forget them. Then when they arrive, they feel like emergencies. But many irregular expenses are not emergencies. They are predictable expenses with bad timing. Let's use car maintenance. If you own a car, you know you will eventually need oil changes, tires, brakes, repairs, registration, and maybe unexpected service. If you budget nothing for car maintenance, you are not saving money. You are simply waiting for a future problem. A better approach is to treat irregular expenses like monthly bills. If you expect to spend $1,200 a year on car maintenance and repairs, divide that by 12. That means you should set aside $100 a month. Now, when the repair comes, it is not a disaster. It is already partially funded. This is called planning for true expenses, and it is one of the biggest differences between a budget that fails and a budget that works. The third reason budgets fail is forgotten bills. Forgotten bills are the small or occasional charges that slip through the cracks. They include things like streaming services, cloud storage, app subscriptions, annual memberships, gym fees, bank fees, software renewals, insurance renewals, credit card annual fees, school portals, professional memberships. These charges are often not huge by themselves, but together they can throw off your budget. The problem is that most people budget based on memory. They sit down and say, okay, what do I pay every month? But memory is not a budgeting system. Memory forgets. Your bank statement remembers. Your credit card statement remembers. Your app store subscriptions remember. So if your budget keeps failing, do not start by guessing. Start by investigating. Pull the last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Look for recurring charges. Look for annual renewals. Look for charges you forgot about. You may discover that money is leaving your account quietly every month. Not dramatically, not with a big announcement, just quietly. Like a financial mosquito, small bite, small bite, small bite. Then one day, your budget feels weak and you do not know why. The fourth reason budgets fail is no fun money. This may sound surprising, but a budget with no fun is usually not a strong budget. It is a fragile budget. Many people create budgets that are too strict. They say, no restaurants, no entertainment, no shopping, no coffee, no hobbies, no joy. Basically, they create a budget that says, congratulations, you are alive, but please do not enjoy it. That kind of budget may work for a week, maybe 2, but eventually, most people rebel. They have a stressful day, they feel tired, they feel restricted. Then they spend more than they planned. After that, they feel guilty and say, I'm bad with money. But the problem was not only self-control. The problem was that the budget did not include being human. Humans need enjoyment. Humans need rest. Humans need social connection. Humans sometimes want coffee, dinner with friends, a movie, a hobby, or a small treat. The goal is not to remove fun. The goal is to plan fun. If you budget $150 for fun money, then you can spend that $150 without guilt. That is very different from pretending you will spend $0, then accidentally spending $300. Planned fun protects the budget. Unplanned fun breaks it. Now let's talk about the solution. The action step for this episode is simple. Create a true expenses list. A true expenses list is a list of the real costs of your life, including the expenses that do not happen every month. It helps you stop being surprised by things you should expect. Here's how to create one. Step 1. Write down your regular monthly bills. Rent or mortgage, utilities, insurance, phone, internet, debt payments, subscriptions, transportation, groceries. Step 2. Write down irregular expenses. Car maintenance, birthdays, holidays, school fees, medical costs, clothing, travel, home repairs, pet care, annual renewals, professional fees. Step 3. Estimate the yearly cost for each irregular expense. For example, car maintenance, $1,200 per year. Holiday gifts, $900 per year. Birthdays and celebrations, $600 per year. School expenses, $720 per year. Clothing, $600 per year. Medical and dental costs, $900 per year. Annual subscriptions, $300 per year. Step 4. Divide each yearly amount by 12. That turns the irregular expense into a monthly amount. Car maintenance, $100 per month. Holiday gifts, $75 per month. Birthdays, $50 per month. School expenses, $60 per month. Clothing, $50 per month. Medical, $75 per month. Subscriptions, $25 per month. Now your budget becomes more realistic. You are no longer pretending these expenses do not exist. You are preparing for them. Let's use a real-life example. Meet Tanya. Tanya earns $4,800 per month after taxes. She has a stable job, she pays her bills, she is not reckless, but every month her budget fails. At first, Tanya thinks the problem is discipline. She says, "I just need to stop spending." But when she reviews her last 6 months, she notices something. Her budget includes rent, groceries, car payment, insurance, phone, internet, debt payments, and savings. But it does not include birthdays. It does not include car maintenance. It does not include school fees for her child. It does not include holiday spending. It does not include medical copays. It does not include clothing. It does not include annual subscriptions. It does not include any fun money. So every month, something unexpected happens. But when Tanya writes it all down, she realizes these expenses are not random. They are part of her real life. So Tanya creates a true expenses list. She sets aside $100 per month for car maintenance, $75 per month for holidays, $50 per month for birthdays and gifts, $60 per month for school expenses, $75 per month for medical costs, $50 per month for clothing, $150 per month for fun money. That is $560 per month. At first, Tanya thinks that is too much, but then she realizes she was already spending that money. The difference is that before it was unplanned. Now it has a place. Her budget did not become more expensive, it became more honest. And an honest budget is much easier to follow than a fake one. There is also a psychological reason budgets fail. People often use budgets as punishment instead of guidance. They overspend, feel guilty, and then create a very strict budget to make up for it. But guilt is not a strong foundation for financial planning. Guilt creates extreme rules. Extreme rules create pressure. Pressure creates rebellion. Rebellion creates overspending. Overspending creates guilt again. And the cycle repeats. A better budget is not a punishment. A better budget is a decision-making tool. It helps you decide what matters. It helps you prepare. It helps you say yes to the right things and no to the wrong things. It gives your money direction. That is why a good budget should not make you feel trapped. It should make you feel clear. So how do you build a budget that actually works? Start with your real numbers. Look at what you actually spent over the last 3 months. Do not guess. Use your statements. Then create categories that reflect your actual life, not someone else's life, not a perfect life, your life. Next, include true expenses. Every irregular expense needs a place. Then add a buffer. A buffer is extra space for small surprises. Even $50 or $100 can help. Then include fun money. Not unlimited fun money, planned fun money. Finally, review your budget weekly. A budget is not something you create once and abandon. It is a living document. Think of it like a GPS. If you miss a turn, the GPS does not insult you. It recalculates. Your budget should do the same. If groceries are higher this week, adjust. If a bill comes early, adjust. If you overspend in one category, move money from another category if possible. The goal is not perfection. The goal is awareness and adjustment. Here is a simple framework you can use every month. Ask 4 questions. Question 1. What money is coming in? Question 2. What bills must be paid? Question 3. What true expenses are coming, even if they are not monthly? Question 4. What money can I safely spend without hurting my goals? That last question is important. A budget should tell you what is safe to spend, not just what you cannot spend. When your budget only says no, you avoid it. When your budget says, here is what you can spend safely, you start trusting it. Here is your challenge. This week, create your true expenses list. Do not try to make it perfect, just start. Look through your last 3 to 6 months of spending. Write down expenses that surprised you. Then ask, will this happen again? If yes, it belongs on the true expenses list. Birthdays will happen again. Car maintenance will happen again. School costs will happen again. Holidays will happen again. Medical costs may happen again. Annual subscriptions will renew again. Once you list them, estimate the yearly cost, then divide by 12. That monthly number is what you should start setting aside. Even if you cannot fully fund every category today, awareness gives you power. Start with the most important ones: car maintenance, medical, school expenses, holidays, emergency fund. Then build from there. So why does your budget fail every month? Usually, it is not because you are lazy. It is not because you are hopeless with money. It is not because budgeting does not work. It is because the budget is missing real life. It may be too unrealistic. It may ignore irregular expenses. It may forget annual bills and subscriptions. It may leave no room for fun. And when a budget does not reflect your real life will always win. The solution is to create a true expenses list. Write down the costs that happen outside your regular monthly bills. Estimate them, divide them by 12, give them a place in your budget. That is how birthdays stop becoming emergencies. That is how car maintenance stops destroying the month. That is how school fees stop surprising you. That is how holidays stop going on a credit card. A working budget is not a financial prison. It is a plan for peace. It is not about controlling every penny perfectly. It is about understanding your life clearly enough to make better decisions. So this week, do one thing. Create your true expenses list. Because once your budget becomes honest, it becomes useful. And once it becomes useful, it can finally start working for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.